Hello, everyone. Today's focus is going to be on our hips. So in today's practice, we're going to start out, you can start out up on a meditation cushion or a bolster or a block, pillow, whatever you have to set up a little taller on. Coming here to simple seat. Just allowing the knees to drop as much as is comfortable. Noticing if you're holding. Allow that release to occur here. Hands to the knees. Keep your spine nice and long. Let your chin slightly tuck. Crown of your head pulls towards the sky. Just beginning to take a moment here to settle into your body. Noticing how you feel right here, right now. Notice the thoughts that you've carried to your mat today. You've brought with you. And allow yourself to begin to set those things aside. Bringing your mind present to right here, right now. Mindful in the practice ahead. Part your lips and release your jaw. Allow your eyes to rest back deep, softly closed. Settle into your breathing here, noticing your inhale and your exhale. And beginning to take that breath a bit deeper. Evening out your inhale and exhale. Work towards that balanced breath. On your next exhale, roll yourself back to cat here. Let your chin tuck. Stretching out the back of the body. Allowing the belly button to pull towards your spine. Next, inhale, rock yourself forward to cow, opening the front body, pausing here. Allowing the heart to pull forward. Just taking a moment here to wake up the body. Exhale, roll yourself back to cat and hold. Inhale, find that cow at forward. Next, exhale, bring yourself back to neutral, to that nice tall spine. On an inhale, let the arms reach high here. Interlacing the fingers when you get there. Press up, let the shoulders drop from your ears a bit. Nice and tall through your spine. On an exhale, gently drift over towards your right. Let your gaze go up. Creating that opening through the left side here, keeping your hips rooted to your meditation pillow or bolster, whatever you're lifted up on here. Keeping that stable foundation. Inhale, bring yourself back to center, gaze forward. Exhale, drifting towards your left, taking your gaze up here. Opening up the right side. Again, allowing those hips to stay balanced and rooted in your seat. Next, inhale, bring yourself back to center. Keeping the fingers interlaced. Exhale, bring the arms down in front of you. Arms directly out from your shoulders. Your gaze should be at the backs of your fingers here. On your next inhale, softly push yourself forward as if someone has a hold of your wrist and is just gently pulling you forward. Keeping your hips balanced and attached to whatever you're sitting upon. Rooting down here. Next, inhale, bring yourself back to neutral. Release your hands, hands back to your knees. Exhale, back to cow and hold. Sorry, back to cat. Next, inhale, find your way forward to cow. Hold. Inhale yourself back to that neutral spine. From here, we're going to find our way to tabletop. So finding hands and knees here. Settling in, making sure your knees are directly below your hips, wrists below the shoulders, fingers spread wide. Shoelace side of your foot is pressed to the mat. On your next exhale, turn your gaze back towards that right heel. Holding here to breathe, opening through the side body. Inhale, find your way back to neutral. Exhale, look back towards your left heel. Inhale, back to center. Place your right hand over in front of your left. And on your exhale, let your hips drift back towards your right heel. Let your head go heavy. Finding this opening stretch through the side body. Next inhale brings you back up to table. Place the left hand in front of your right this time, and on your exhale, let the hips drift towards the left heel. Head heavy once more. Next inhale brings you back up to table. Walk your knees wide. Let your big toes come to meet. We're gonna go back into child's pose, but what we wanna be mindful of is how our hips shift back into the posture. So on your exhale, you wanna just shift your hips back, dropping them back and down towards your heels. We're gonna pause here for a moment. On your next inhale, you're gonna come back up, taking this movement dynamically with your breath here to begin. Allowing for those hips to release into the posture, to find that movement in your body here. Turn sideways for a moment so it's a little easier to see. Just sitting back towards the heels, inhaling back up to neutral. Finding that movement, following your breath here. On your next exhale, sit back and hold. Begin to allow your hands to walk or slide forward, dropping the front half of your body towards your mat. Taking your block, if you'd like, and placing it below your forehead. We're not necessarily concentrating on getting our forehead all the way to the mat today. What we're concentrating on is that drop of our hips towards the heels. So allow yourself to rest your forehead on a block or a bolster. What we really want is those hips to come down towards the heels, that opening through the hips here. Arms can be relaxed on your mat. Breathing here in this restorative, open, wide knee child's pose. Stay with your breath here, breathing nice and deeply. On your next inhale, find your way back up. Bring your knees back underneath your hips, coming back to tabletop. Take some cat-cow here. Inhale to open. Exhale to roll back. Back to a neutral spine. On your next inhale, keeping the knee bent, you're gonna lift that right foot towards the ceiling. You can flex the foot here. Exhale, bring that right knee back to the mat. Again, I'm gonna turn to the side so that this is a little easier to see. Inhale, we're lifting the flexed foot to the ceiling, knee bent. Exhale, we're bringing it down. Taking this motion with your breath here. One more. Moving over to your left side this time. Inhale, lift that foot. Exhale, the knee to the mat. One more on this side. Back to table. Bring your knees to meet one another. Thighs are closed. Toes touch. Exhale, drop your hips back towards your heels. Inhale, back up. Taking that same motion we did to begin wide knee child's pose. You're at closed knee. Focusing on that drop of your hips back towards your heels. Next, exhale, drop the hips, pause for a moment. Set your block if you'd like it, or bolster, or whatever you need below your forehead. On your exhale, find your way down, forehead to the block. You can slide your arms back along your body here. Curling up into a little ball. If you'd like, you can remove the block, let your head hang heavy towards the floor. Bring your hands back to your mat. On an inhale, bring yourself back up to table. From here, you're going to slide your right knee towards that right wrist. You're going to bring that right foot over, kickstand towards the left wrist. Curl the toes of your left foot under. Walk that leg back and down, coming down towards pigeon pose. Now here in this pigeon pose, you can take your bolster in front to lay on if you would like. Making your way down here towards the bolster or towards the mat, if that's what you would prefer. Opening up the back of the right hip. If this is not a very accessible pose for you, you can take that block and place it below that right hip, allowing for that bit of support there as well. Taking what you need in the posture today. Our hips are where we tend to hold on to emotion. It's where we shift stuff down and we stuff it down and don't deal with things. It ends up in this region of our body. Taking these postures today, allowing the hips to release, letting go of what's being held there emotionally and physically. Next, inhale, bring yourself back up. Find your way back to tabletop here. Take some cat-cow for a moment. Back to neutral. We're going to move into pigeon on this side. Sliding the left knee forward to the left wrist. Bringing that left foot over towards the right wrist. Curling those right toes under to walk that right leg back. Placing your bolster in front of you here if you'd like. Noting that one side might be more open and ready for this posture than the other. Next, exhale, begin to make your way down into that fold, allowing your upper body to be heavy, opening up through the left side. Next inhale brings you back up to table. Take some cat-cow when you arrive. Back to a neutral spine. Walk the knees together. Set your hips back towards your heels. Bring your hands back to either side of your knees. Rolling your body up to heroes. Seated back in heroes here. Now you have the option, if this is hard for you to get to, if this is not an easily accessible pose for you, you can place a block between your feet. Allow your sits bones to rest on it. You also have the option of taking, which is my favorite, a bolster between the knees and setting back on it in a sort of wide-kneed hero's pose. This creates a lot of extra support and comfort in the body. So taking whichever of those variations feels best for you today. Bring the hands to your thighs or to your low belly. Allow your shoulders to drop back and down. Heart is open forward. Chin slightly tucks. Crown of your head towards the sky. Settle in here and breathe. Allowing yourself to be here, present in your body, present in your breath. Noticing what's happening in your hips. Bring your mental focus to the hips and pelvis, your tailbone. Do you feel tense here? Are you holding yourself rigid? Are you engaging those glutes? Or are they relaxed and soft? Allow them to soften. Allow whatever you're holding on here, physical or mental or emotional, to begin to release away, to let go. What have you been shoving down lately? We've had a lot happening in our world as of late. First half of our year seemed very chaotic. A lot of us have been dealing with the uncertainty of the world around us currently. What have you allowed yourself to stuff down? not shamefully. It's an act of self-preservation. We all do it from time to time. It's part of the human experience. We often don't even notice when we are doing it. An autonomic response to the stimuli around us in our world. When have you allowed yourself to stuff away, to hide in those deep recesses of your body? What's settled in for you? And what parts of that can you allow yourself to begin to unpack, to release, to let your exhale take away from your body? Allow yourself to sit with this for a moment, breathing into it. On your next inhale, bring yourself back to tabletop. Take some cat-cow here. Back at a neutral spine. Extend the right leg behind you, toes to the mat. Activate the foot, press through the heel, just opening up from the hip down through the heel of your foot. Releasing any energy held here. Release the activity, just letting the toes touch, no longer pressing through the heel. Lift the foot, roll your ankle one way, and then the other. Bring the knee back. Extend the left leg back behind, toes to the mat. Engage the foot, press through the heel, find that opening stretch. Release that activity, just toes touching the mat. Lift the foot, roll the ankle one way, and then the other. Bringing the knee back. Cross your ankles. Roll yourself back and over, coming to easy seat. Place whatever it was that you started out sitting on back below your hips. Coming back to that supported seat. Once again, letting those knees drop open heavy here. Hands to the knees, shoulders back and down, nice and tall through your spine. Focus on your breath. Notice how you feel now compared to how you felt at the start of our practice. Notice what shifted for you physically. What shifted for you mentally. And what shifted for you emotionally. Next, inhale, let the arms reach high. Exhaling, hands come to heart center, Anjali Mudra. 3 deep breaths here together across the miles. Thumbs to your forehead center. The divine light within me recognizes and deeply reflects the divine light within you all. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me today, or on the replay, the YouTube, the website, or our Facebook page. I welcome you to leave a comment about how the practice made you feel today, or a comment about things that you'd like addressed in your practice in the future. With much love, thank you. Thank you for your continued support of Goddess Yogi Ash and Wild Thing Yoga and Boutique throughout all of this craziness in our world right now. I'll see you next time.